Hello, everybody from Cambridge University. I'm here because we're signing a partnership with Cambridge University Press in a little bit. It's a wonderful thing, but I wanted to discuss very briefly what we're seeing in the foreign policy agenda and the global order space with the new U.S. administration, not so new anymore, and what's going on. I've been getting a lot of questions and comments, and I've participated in a lot of discussions about how we are to interpret what is happening. And I think there is a fundamental feature to what we're seeing, and this is the U.S. leaving behind the hegemonic period of U.S. foreign policy. And by hegemonic, I mean this foreign policy principle that the U.S. would be present everywhere in the world. It would project military power everywhere in the world. It would influence political dossiers and diplomatic dossiers everywhere in the world, and it would do this through direct projection, through bases and military forces and others, and it would do it through alliances, and it would do it through the multilateral system that it underwrote and in many respects, led. And that world is coming to an end. It's unclear if this is out of necessity because the US cannot simply continue to sustain such an effort, or out of ideology. But it doesn't really matter because whatever the cause, this seems to be something that will stay even beyond the Trump administration. Now, a fundamental question then we need to answer is what are the implications of this? And I see at the very least three. One is very evident, which is the withdrawal of U.S. forward presence, military forces, and others from various places around the world. And we're about to see this in Europe through the Pentagon Posture Review that is being produced. So everywhere I go in the world, I find U.S. allies trying to figure out how they're going to live in a world where the U.S. is no longer the fundamental security provider for them. And this is a very important change. The second, which is a corollary to this, is the refocusing of U.S. attention in the Western Hemisphere. And this is what explains Venezuela and the overwhelming military presence in the Caribbean and in the region. The focus on Greenland, which is a hemispheric issue for the Americans as well, and the rebalancing of their military and investment efforts to the protection of the homeland. So that's another consequence of this. And the third is really the abandonment of the values agenda, the global democracy agenda, the values leadership agenda, for a much more pragmatic, narrow, very focused, interest based foreign policy. Now, as I was saying at the beginning, and I'll finish on this, it's unclear how much of this is caused by budget and capacity constraints or ideology. Trump seems to be very much influenced by this ideology, and he's been very consistent throughout the years that the US should not be playing this role. So, if it's exclusively due to ideology, you might see a tempering of this with other administrations, future administrations. But it does seem that the US will not go back to the prior era. So, this is a post hegemonic, post unipolar world that we're all having to learn to live in. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.